Tonight on Hipstar Tonight, now available on iTunes. Purchases now online at hipstar.ca, the original 1-800-NEED-A-GIMMICK.com. Please send your contributions to the Heart and Soul Foundation. It is tonight on Hipstar Tonight.
Monday, July 17th, 2017. Great, beautiful, but chill and simple, relaxing weekend. Almost felt like a vacation. On the road, got some sun, lost to Ray Beauchamp, North Bay. It's beautiful up there. How people go and actually see this place as a vacation spot. Really relieved my soul coming back. Chill ride with some chill boys. And I'm not the only one, as well as Jay is being on the road and getting his name out there. Which is great for the past 2 years. Changing our gimmick and being known as bitter guys that thought that we gave it all up. Making it feel that you had something to offer again. That's a good thing. Smash on Sunday. Holden Albright really excited that he gets to pick up boys from the border. Private messages from Colt Cabana. Makes for a good weekend. I believe that we can also be optimistic when these things happen. Good things happen to us. Wrestling can be good again, when at the same time it can be really shitty.
If you could dig this, number one, I hate, and I will never return to North Bay ever again.
No.
The fans are very hillbilly down there. It's very scarce.
Yeah.
A lot of the stores are boarded up. A lot of the places, you can't get gas. I almost ran out of gas with Jackson Jarvis on the fucking road.
Yeah, of course.
That was embarrassing. And, I can't stand North Bay or anybody that runs in North Bay. So that's my opening statement on the program.
Kind of slow. They didn't really know what climate change or global warming was. The fact they kind of had to hesitate on what a vegan was, and it's like, how am I supposed to work my gimmick when this town won't even update themselves on how the world is?
They don't even know anything about being a hipster or being vegans. They wear flannel shirts, vests, a lot of knit sweaters because they're hibernating all fucking winter long. While their husband's on a snowmobile somewhere getting drunk.
Yeah,
it's just
even in the summer.
It's a very, very weird culture. That's all I have to say about that. As well as the Friendship Festival here in Fort Erie. I've been staying home lately, and I got called in to do the Friendship Festival, sell some shirts. I got injured over the weekend playing foosball.
Oh, yeah.
And I canceled my Crossfire fucking date because of it, which upset the promoter.
Wait, you injured yourself playing foosball? How does one do that? Like a wrist injury? Or took a ball to the eye? Hurt your thumb?
I went to kick the foosball and fucking tripped over some cords that were in the soundstage area and twisted my ankle off the stage.
Of course.
So a lot of these, the marks that come in to set up wires and cables for SHIP or terrestrial radio. I was there, of course, for Giant FM, and they're just stoners that want to play foosball during the downtime. And I'm one of those stoners that want to do those things.
They only wanted to be producers so they could have an air hockey or foosball table in their studio.
Yeah.
That's ideal.
You ever look at Corey Motley? It's not like he's running for president of the United States. He's a perfect candidate for foosball.
Yeah.
That's all he wants to do in life,
I mean, look at how the guy lives, Get a name for yourself, get on the radio, do that dream for a bit, but the dream is just, it's like the seaside of dreams. Just for me to fucking get by.
$30,000 here in Niagara. The Morning Man at Z101 is open, and that's the shoot. Right now, I got the application sitting in front of me, but here in Niagara, at $30,000 a year, that's basically. I mean, what did you pay to go to college? $30,000?
Actually, it was Niagara College, so it was half of that. It was $15-20, but
so
what was the interest of OSAP?
So the economy's only going to give you another $10,000 on top of that to do a fucking morning shift on a station that nobody listens to. It just seems a little bit ridiculous.
It is. Ridiculous as our hobbies can be, as wrestling is. But kudos, I noticed, even though some fans are going to house shows, they don't know what wrestling is, right? They want to say, yay, boo, preoccupy their kids for 3 hours.
Right.
That's all you can ask for. Then you got the real wrestling fans, the diehards that were at Smash yesterday.
Yeah.
And I realized, we rip on them, but they've become a lot more respectful in person at live shows than they ever been. if they have a problem...
Well, sure. I mean...
If they have a problem, they'll go on the internet, right? And they'll write on the internet because that's the world now, right? Like, we hide in person. I'm not going to say shit to your face, and then I'm going to write about how your match was shitty on a thread. That's just the way the world works on any political topic.
Right. Yeah. Well, the live events on which the real wrestling fans go to, where you don't have a bunch of snotty kids buying Cody Deanemer shirts, are actually, they go to those events, the live events, because they serve alcohol. And a lot of these family-friendly shows is why I'm so against doing, like, a family-friendly show in a community hall, much like Chris LaPlante does, is if there's no beer, then you got to accept community living and children as your audience, and it's a little hard to get heat, you know, and then if you do generate some sort of heat, like they're legit mad at you, and the promoter wants you to actually apologize to the audience after the show to break kayfabe, and it just seems like a bunch of bullshit, whereas if you're in front of a drunken crowd, which is more my style, a little more... yeah, you're right. They don't mind to pull up the fucking internet and say, hey, you know, I wasn't impressed with Scotty O'Shea's match, or vice versa.
Which in person, when they see you, be like, great match, bro. But
yeah, can I buy a fucking T-shirt? You know, I'm tired of the fucking wrestling community just buying T-shirts. Like, you're minimizing yourself in culture because a lot of people are looking at you like marks. Like, it just seems, it's good money for the boys, I guess. ProWrestlingTees.com and 1-800-NEED-A-GIMMICK or 1-800-NEED-A-GIMMICK.com.
Right.
But this thing is, like, not everybody has to fucking buy a shirt. Like, we have to have a bunch of fucking T-shirts running around with wrestlers' faces and shit.
All black and white,
fucking, you know,
we don't have to blame just the fans, though. That's the workers' problems as well. They're not creative with their merch like we are over at 1-800-NEED-A-GIMMICK and the original 1-800-NEED.com. We got tons of things that pertain to wrestling. Whereas you go to a wrestler's merch and it's just still 8x10s and shirts. Yeah. Where like we could make pogs, we could make buttons, we could make headbands, just like the Rock and Roll Express used to do. Nobody does that anymore. Right. But again,
nobody does that.
That's why we set ourselves differently.
Mustaches anymore.
And nobody wants to change wrestling. Yeah, they just want to do cool moves, and maybe they'll do a modified version of that move. That's on the subject of changing wrestling. That's as far as we've gotten in the indies right now. But then you got fans who want gimmicks. Your future ex-wife, the person you've been hunting down forever, Bernadette. And this is the big debate, all right? Some people, she pushes a lot of tickets, all right? And she can really help out your promotion, I suppose. But now this is a question we got to bring up. Bernadette, does she help or does she hinder shows with how she acts? You know, she does think she's a power player for the amount of tickets that she can bring in. But then she does them for big companies like Smash, and she thinks that they need her, and then she's doing them a favor. And then they're not fucking doing them a favor. Smash is going to fucking excel no matter what. 20 tickets ain't going to change that. It's good fucking entertainment no matter what. Like, it doesn't matter. But again, like I said, it's just another case of a superfan trying anything to have a gimmick to get themselves over. I mean, even when she was selling Death Proof tickets, which they still didn't lose that much, I really thought her behavior was distracting at best. I mean, she was at the ROH event that just passed in Niagara, or in Toronto. She spent half the show 20 feet from the ring yelling "Happy Birthday, Tyson Dukes" during matches when he wasn't even working on the show. Like, what the fuck? Is that like a mental thing? Or what makes you think that is okay? What makes you think, like, you go to so much wrestling, what makes you think that, like, you're not disrespecting it? Then you get offended when we say that you are. Have you not caught on to what wrestling is?
Well, again, Bernadette has gotten herself in a position where she has got a gimmick now that has gotten over with the fans, and I think it is hard for her to break it because her ego's not going to allow that to happen. Now, as far as yelling Tyson Duke, happy birthday at Ring of Honor, I mean, again, she wants to put over that she's a Tyson Dukes girl, and everybody in that audience and the workers are going to know that she's a Tyson Dukes girl, and she's going to yell happy birthday until somebody acknowledges and points her out in the crowd and says, hey, is that Bernadette Johnstone? You know, everybody get on the mic and sing happy birthday to Tyson Dukes. And I think that with a lot of the promotions, for example, that it's easy to just send a DM to Bernadette Johnstone and get your 22 ticket sales, because it's 22 tickets that they don't actually have to sell.
Yeah. Well,
so, you know, if you're a promoter, obviously it makes total business sense to just send a DM, you know, I'm friends with you, and face it.
Very distracting.
If you sell me 22 tickets.
Yeah, it's
now,
she needs. How selfish do you need to be to not realize that you're distracting from the in-ring action, though? The Death Proof tournament a couple years ago when they brought in Ultimo and Carino, there was two friends that I know of that came from like the Rochester, Syracuse area, and they were autistic, simple kids, but harmless and fucking cool kids. They just wanted to see entertainment. They had to hide the back of the room, which which obviously like hid them from the action they wanted to see, because Bernadette wouldn't stop yelling, wouldn't stop being in the front row and being a huge distraction. It's very, very disrespectful, and it's killing indie shows. Kids as well, like kids who are already kind of like thrown off by the noise, and you got this small little dwarf midget lady who's triple the age of them but acting the same attitude, and she's just very intrusive, and it's so fucking aggressively distracting. We need to stop that. I think we need to like kind of put a ban on her. Indie shows need to have like signs like, these people are not welcome here when you're like taking tickets, and Bernadette's face needs to be on a majority of the promotions in Ontario.
The history of indie wrestling here in Ontario has been filled with hecklers from the beginning of time.
Okay.
The drunk section, sign guy Dudley, the Moss scripts before they got into the business were all marks sitting in the front row.
Yeah.
And it's just, since the beginning of time, they want to be the center of attention. I don't think that they have the accolade of being cool outside their wrestling bubble. You understand what I'm trying to say? A lot of these people are single white males, single white females.
Yeah.
Right. And I think, when you're walking into a general public, if you're going to a cinema, for example, with a Tyson Dukes t-shirt on, that the general public is going to look at you weird. And
of course, you go do a job interview.
That you have is to go to these indie shows and say, "Look at me, take a selfie with me, take a picture with me. Everybody, I am here. I brought front tickets, and all you people bought tickets off me. And I'm going to shout at the top of my lungs for the entire show because the boys all know who I am. My name is Bernadette Johnstone. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for being a #1 super fan here in Ontario." And
do you think she brings it up at like job interviews? Like, so what are your strengths? Well, I sell 20 tickets for independent artistic shows, and I got 50 people choreographed and singing "Happy Birthday, Tyson Dukes," and I'm a big supporter of indie wrestling. Wearing your black and white Mark Haskins T-shirt, like, how do these people like really have a productive stance in society now? Like, what is?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's all that's going on. We've all been there, not to that extent, not to that degree, but I have had Team Canada TNA wrestling t-shirts that I purchased online. I'm embarrassed to talk about it now. Of course, I've been in the business 12 years.
But you're
we've all
supporting.
had our turn of being the mark, and it's just, now Team Canada wouldn't talk to me if I paid them.
Yeah, it
just seems to be that weird
please,
the way business goes.
Take my money to talk to me, please. And we talk about support indie wrestling all the time. And you know what? You can say it, put it on a t-shirt, put it in a status, all you want. You're not doing it if you're taking away from the boys or the action. So if you truly support, you sit back, you buy a ticket, and you buy into your favorite wrestlers, and you let them work. Let them do their job, because it's only a Monday on the beginning of the week. Just
let them work. Let them work. Let them work. Let them work.
Tonight on Hit Star Today.
Children get together. Everybody must be fair. I can't put up with this argument.
Oh man, I've been like raw vegetarian diet, and maybe it's clearing me out, but I got fucking gas, like the smelliest gas, which I thought beef would be the thing to blame, but maybe it's the veggies pushing everything else out. But woof, Studio C is a hot box of farts here.